So welcome everyone to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Glen. We are a welcoming congregation where we strive to transform ourselves and the world through love, wonder, and connection. My name is Allison Coops. I use she, her pronouns, and I serve on the Finance Committee. Today, we will be honoring Trans Day of Remembrance and all the ways that each unique person in our community is a reason for gratitude. If you have a care or concern that you would like shared with the congregation, there are prayer cards in the back of the sanctuary, which you can return to an usher before the end of the opening hymn. Whether you are here for the first time or for the 1000th time, welcome. Whatever you are facing in your own life, welcome. This is a place where we try our best to be real with one another, to get through hard things together, and to remind ourselves and one another of the values that ground and center us, that motivate and move us. Whoever you are, whatever your faith journey, whomever you love, you are welcome here. We welcome all who seek to know the sacred and all who seek to make our world more just. Our commitment is to be together in covenant, so please join me in our affirmation of who this community is. Is it in the bulletins? No. Okay, so starting with that all-important word, love is the message of this church, and service is our way. This is our great covenant together, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Please rise in body or spirit to join in singing our opening hymn, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place, number 1008 in our teal softcover hymnal.
Maybe, in a second. Yeah. Sure. So we're being patient with our slides, so it's there. This small flame alone inclusivity, care, and mutual aid that will sustain us all through the storm. Thank you so much. Will you join me now in a time of meditation or prayer, finding a comfortable place for your body, whatever that may be for you, noticing your breathing, trying to find a center. Take a moment to just be, allowing stillness to settle in. Spirit of life, Spirit of love, Spirit of all that is, be with us this morning and all mornings as we carry the weight of grief and the lightness of joy. Be with us as we navigate anxiety and fear and love in our everyday lives. As we are together today, remind us that we are not alone in this world. We are whole, holy, and loved. Remind us every day that we are surrounded by beauty, compassion, and love. Amen. We return to our centers of connection every week because we know that rituals bring us closer together and allow us to share the joys and sorrows, concerns, fears, hopes, all of the feelings that we're feeling that shape our lives. So in the next few minutes of contemplative time, we'll be sharing together those experiences. We'll witness and experience ourselves the experience of lighting a candle for our joys, our hopes, our ambitions, and experiencing, expressing our sorrows, our concerns, our grief by placing a stone. In a moment, I'll invite you all to come forward to participate in this ritual. But before we do, if you're online, please put your name in the chat box with stone or candle or both, and we will include you in the ritual later in this morning. And if you're in the room and would need assistance, Allison will light a candle for you. And if you would like a candle lit, please raise your hand so we can have Allison do it. Come. And Linda and Colin, and someone over this side. Porter. If you would like a stone placed for you, Adina will place a stone. Please raise your hand. Now I invite all who would like to participate themselves in the ritual to come light a candle on this side, place a stone on this side, and you can do both. So join on in. We'll place candles for our online participants, for Maria, for Kurt and Elizabeth, for Donna, for Stephen, for Rita B, for Linda B, for Esty, Sarah, and Morse. And we'll place stones for Stephen and Rita.
And we place one final stone for the remaining sorrows this morning, as we say the big one for all the heavy things we still hold. And light one final candle for all the joys that remain in our hearts and that carry us into tomorrow. Our sung prayer response today is new to us. It comes from the UU group Sanctuary Boston. And I actually got the pleasure of hearing it live shared impromptu at GA this summer, and then got their new album. It's track number 1, which tells you it is what we lead with. So we together are going to try to bring it to you today. It's called Infinitely Whole, and Jonathan's going to try to help me teach it to you. The words made it up. The first line is going to be repeated 4 times, and it sounds the same each time. We were all born infinitely whole. Again. We were all born infinitely whole. We were all born infinitely whole. We were all born infinitely whole. Next section. We are each of us enough. We are each of us complete. We are each of us enough, just exactly as we are again. We are each of us enough. We are each of us complete. We are each of us enough, just exactly. We were all born. We were all born infinitely whole. We were all born infinitely whole. Amen. Thank you. So, hi, my name is Adina Danouf. I use she or they pronouns, and I am your director of Lifespan Religious Exploration. And that was Lonan. I sing this song after picking it up at night, so that's why she wanted to come share too. And today we are talking about and remembering our trans siblings that we have lost to hate or violence this year and beyond. Our shared value of equity reminds us that every person is inherently worthy and has the right to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion. We heard that. Some of the kids' ears perked up because we talked about compassion a lot last month. And it can be especially hard to remember that this is not the experience that everyone has. And sometimes it's easy to remember that that's not the experience that everyone has. And if this feels a little extra hard for you, just know that we are holding you in peace and sending you love. And one way that I find that we can honor our trans siblings is to honor their stories and their truths. Something also related to our shared UU values. So, today I'm going to share one truth-finding story with you, and it goes like this. There once was a crayon. And I say that word funny, I'm stopping right here. I'm gonna go into crown at some point, and y'all are gonna be like, it's not something you wear on your head. I'm gonna try my best to say crayon the whole time, but it's not gonna happen, I'm just telling you. So there once was a crayon, and like the other crayons, it was made of wax. And like the other crayons, it was dyed a pretty color, and like the other crayons, it was cylindrical shaped with a pointed end. We're following along. And yet, it wasn't like the other crayons, because all the other crayons loved being used to make beautiful pictures, but this crayon hated coloring. It did not like the feeling of being on paper. And all the other crayons liked being put away together neatly into the box, but this crayon didn't like being in the box at all. And all of the other crayons had fancy wrappers with their color names on them and the company that made them and, very fancy things. But this crayon never had one. And every day the crayon tried and tried again to be like all the other crayons. But it just never felt right. The crayon hoped that maybe there would be one day that it just clicked, right? But it never did. So time went on, and then one day this crayon was doing whatever crayons do and met a something. It was made of wax, it was dyed a pretty color, and it had a cylindrical shape with a pointed end, but it wasn't a crayon. The crayon didn't quite know what this something was, but my, oh my, did this thing shine. It was bright and it was illuminating and it lit up every room it entered. It just shimmered with confidence and pride. And the crayon thought to itself, maybe that is what I am. Maybe that is who I was meant to be. So after seeing the something a few more times, you get a little shy at first, some of us, the crayon finally mustered up enough bravery to talk to the something. Shyly, the crayon said, "Hi." "Hi there," said the something. Have you ever opened the floodgates, right? So crayon mustered up this confidence to say hi. The something responded, and this is what came out. "I'm crayon. Well, I think I'm crayon. I thought I was a crayon. Actually, I never really thought I was a crayon at all. I never felt like a crayon, but then I saw you and I started to wonder, are you a crayon too? What kind of crayon are you? How do you shine so bright? How are you so happy being a crayon?" Have you ever been there? Have you ever done that or heard that? Yeah, I do that a lot, my partner would say. So the something kindly laughed. "Well, hi there. Nice to meet you. Might not be a crayon. I am also not a crayon. I don't have to draw on paper or stay in a box, and I don't have a wrapper. And I shine so bright because I am a candle. I shine because I was always meant to shine. And maybe, well, it sounds like maybe you were too." The not crayon thought out loud, was I born to shine? So Candle went on, "Maybe you were. I love being a candle. It's everything that I always wanted and was meant to be. Once I stopped trying to draw or fit into that box, once I shed the idea of a label everyone else wanted me to wear, I finally found myself. I felt complete. But it hasn't always been easy. If you are a candle, it's not always easy to shine. Sometimes others will try to stop you. They will try to hide your light." "What do you mean?" wondered the crayon. "Well, there are some who think that the only thing that wax should be is crayons. That maybe candles aren't real, that they're confused or wrong, or maybe they don't even matter. That somehow being a candle takes away from crayons being crayons. Or they think that wax shouldn't shine. But how can that be?" wondered the not crayon. "Don't they see you? You are so beautiful. I love seeing you shine. How do you keep glowing if it's so hard?" Candle paused and took a deep breath and said, "I've seen other candles like you without their sparkle. I've seen other candles get their light turned off, and I promised myself to always shine no matter what." The not crown, the maybe candle, thought about those words. I promised myself to shine no matter what. That's a pretty big promise. That sounded hard, impossible even. But also, they had seen what it looked like when the candle was around. Everything was brighter. Every picture that the crayons drew seemed to shimmer. They found their places in the box easier because they could see. Their wrappers stood out in the light. Being a candle and embracing the shine made everything better for everyone. It didn't take anything away. It added to it. Embracing the shine honored all the candles and the crayons that had come before, and all the candles and the crayons that would ever be. So the wax, formerly known as crayon, right here, there you go, decided to make that promise too, to embrace who they were, a candle meant to shine. And the world was brighter for it. And this is a story with no end, as we are finding pieces of who we are all the time. But as we finish our story for today, I hope that you learn from the journey of others and make the promise to yourself. You may not be a crayon or even a candle, but you can still promise yourself to always shine no matter what. As UUs, I think our values also call us to take it a little further. We can try to promise to help others shine too, right? And like the candle said, it won't always be easy, but it is important because when every light inside of all of us is shining, it makes everything a little brighter for us all. My husband is going to groan now. Now that's about all the story I can candle for today. Let's head to class. Thank you.
This morning, before our offering, our endowment committee would like to come forward and present the congregation with a check.
Good morning. I am Bob Busing. I'm one of the members of the endowment committee, along with Dina and Susan and George. It's the most joyous committee here at UUCC, just so you know. You may recall that a year ago we made the endowment much simpler for everybody to understand, donors and everybody else. We now just collect the money, and once a year, the highlight of our year is to hand a check to the members of the Board of Stewards for them to spend it. Don't come to us. Go to them if you have an idea on how to spend this. And hopefully you hear that little humming under the in the church here, sort of you listen really hard. That's the noise of the endowment growing slowly. So last year, we had a grant of $2,576 based on the average value in 2024 in the first 6 months of $57,254. And we were delighted. It was the first grant that we did. This year, I am pleased to say that we have a grant of $3,664, a significant increase, and that's based on an average value of the endowment in the first 6 months of this year of $81,428. And it started at $71,964 and ended at $90,892 as of June 30th, and we've had some donations since then. So the way this works is we, the endowment committee, collect these donations, we invest it through professional advice, with a professional financial advisor, and we let it quietly grow. And hopefully everybody understands the power of that over time. We attract certain kinds of donors. They're like people who have the concept of a forever gift. You give it once and it just keeps giving a gift every single year, forever. And people have found that very, very useful. I want to, by the way, shout out to the people who donated over the from June 30 last year to this year, which would be Gene Smith, Raymond Cady, did it twice, Ralph Greener, Susan Kennedy, the Busing family, and Alan Dow. So we have a broad collection of donors, and I hope they are very pleased with the opportunity to state their values in real terms to support this fine institution. So one last little advertisement. We will have an information session January, February, we haven't set the date yet, right after the service, where we will explain in more detail kind of all the different ways that people can support this fine concept. And I'm going to give you a teaser. Because most people, when they think about legacy giving, they immediately think, I'm going to have to hire a lawyer, and I've got to make a will. And I'm here to give this teaser to you. why you should be curious enough to attend. Most of the ways you can give to this endowment do not involve a lawyer and do not involve a will. It was the most surprising thing that people learn from that session. So we look forward to hopefully satisfying your curiosity about how this wonderful concept works. And congratulations.
Thank you, Endowment Committee. And thank you for explaining that we don't have to take that to the bank. All right, so, and now please join me in our offering, acknowledging all of the ways we give to this church and this world. We give because this is our church, and we value what it does for us, and through us, to our community and our world. May there be an offering to sustain and grow the life and mission of this church inside and outside our walls. May we give in love and in hope. Thank you for your offering and for all of the ways that you give to our life and ministry with your time, talent, treasure, and trust. Together, our gifts allow us to expand and strengthen the tapestry of love, wonder, and connection that blesses this church and transforms us and our world. Our reading this morning is a responsive reading, We Bear Witness, by Amy G.S.A. Brooks. At the end of each phrase, you will respond, we bear witness. It's easy, even if it doesn't come up on the screen. Your words are, we bear witness. Oh, okay. I'll just cue you when to say, we bear witness. So we people gathered here today on the quest for truth and meaning bear witness. We bear witness to the record of human lives extinguished simply because these people dared to live authentically. We bear witness to the lives and reported deaths of 291 transgender people globally so far this year. We bear witness to the lives and reported deaths of 31 transgender people in these United States so far this year. We bear witness to the unreported ones, uncounted ones, the unnamed many whose lives and deaths will only ever be known by the universe. We bear witness. In these times of heightened anxiety, we who are gathered here today reject the teachings of division and ignorance and commit to siding with love against hatred. We bear witness. Against closed-minded ideologies that excuse evil acts in the name of religion, we bear witness. Against any administration that seeks to fuel their rise to power by threatening the lives of transgender, genderqueer, and non-binary people, we bear witness. Against systemic power structures that treat transgender, genderqueer, and non-binary people, particularly those who are people of color, as being anything less than human, we bear witness. On this day, we who are queer folks and allies, gathered together, uphold the first principle that speaks to the inherent worth and dignity of every person. We bear witness. For those transgender, genderqueer, and non-binary people who are gathered among us today, we bear witness. For those who are allied to the cause of protecting our transgender, genderqueer, and non-binary siblings, we bear witness. For those who exist today boldly, unapologetically in public space as fully authentic transgender, genderqueer, and non-binary people, we bear witness. And if anyone would like to speak the name of those we wish to hold in the light. These remembered lives and deaths have not gone unnoticed by us. We bear witness. Sacred transgender, genderqueer, and non-binary lives do not go unnoticed by us. We bear witness. I would now like to invite the Sanctuary Choir.
This week has been the start of Trans Awareness Week, Trans People Awareness Week. November 13th through 19th is this week, culminating with the Trans Day of Remembrance on November 20th. A week of awareness raising and celebration leading to a day to remember the people that were killed in that year. As we heard from Allison in our reading, 291 people were reported to be killed this year internationally, and 31 in the US since the last Trans Day of Remembrance. The number is lower than last year, which for a second got my hopes up. Oh, wow. No, but the truth is it's likely a higher number than previous and than is being reported, because the situation for trans people is much more dangerous than it's been in previous years. And it's thought that it's more likely that reports are down than the actual number of deaths, meaning that the media and other collection sources are likely putting less effort into their reporting of the deaths of trans people than in previous years. This is tragic. Every person is infinitely whole and deserves to live out their life to its natural conclusion. Every death that has gone unreported is still mourned by someone. Every human on the earth deserves the dignity and respect to have their absence noted as more than a footnote. A fact that our denomination proclaims widely. This week, on Wednesday, as reported by the UU World, the Unitarian Universalist Association joined 8 other denominations in issuing an interfaith collective statement of support for trans, non-binary, and intersex people, affirming that they deserve respect, love, and equal rights. The story goes on to say that UUA President Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt is the lead author of this statement, which comes at a time when trans, intersex, and non-binary people face worsening climate of hostility, and just before Trans Awareness Week. The collective statement, the article goes on, which can be read in full on the UUA website if you're interested in finding more, unequivocally proclaims the holiness of trans, non-binary, and intersex people, and that the signatories from the different religions share a fundamental belief that all people hold infinite value and dignity, and we are morally compelled to care for those living under persecution. The statement's co-signers, along with Reverend Dr. Sophia, are the leaders of the Friends General Council, also known as Quakers, the Universal Fellowship of the Metropolitan Community Churches, the MCC churches, the Fellowship of Affirming Ministries, the Union for Reform Judaism, Presbyterian Church USA, Christian Church Disciples of Christ in the United States and Canada, and the Episcopal Church, the United Church of Christ, and Reconstructing Judaism. According to this statement, our faith, our theologies, and our practices of prophetic witness call us to say with one voice to transgender people among us, you are holy, you are sacred, we love you, we support you, and we will protect you. It's quite a statement, and so incredibly timely as the current administration continues to try to restrict and deny trans people their rights. I don't even want to go into the details, there's too many. Even the Olympics this year are strongly considering not allowing some female athletes to participate in the Winter Games this coming February if they don't meet some genetic criteria for female, whatever that is. No, they're not restricting the male athletes. The level of fear that many of our trans beloveds are experiencing is even more extreme than it has been in many years. All the visibility and rights that have been fought for so diligently and with so much passion have been swiftly chipped away since last November. And we are part of a church community that will not sit by and watch it happen without a fight. The Reverend Jamie Yandel, the UUA's transgender support specialist, and my seminary colleague and friend, has said, trans people are not problems to solve. We are possibilities to celebrate. When people of faith come together in love, we remind the world that sacredness has never been one size fits all. When faith joins in love, they said, we remember the universe is endlessly creating, and trans lives are living proof that divine imagination never ceases. It's some amazing divine imagination that has created some of the most wonderful and passionate humans we know, who can live in their authenticity. They can just be who they are in a way that we never thought possible before. Those of you who grew up in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, could you have imagined breaking out of the gender stereotypes that were so prevalent in those times? And people were, and it was hard. And I'm honored to know that there are people who refuse to be put in those boxes that were created for them at birth, and work tirelessly to shift culture, to allow room for themselves and the folks coming up behind them. I think of Sylvia Rivera and Marsha P. Johnson, who refused to live in those boxes and who were some of the first to throw bricks at the Stonewall riots. Trans people have been pioneers in science, in medicine, in music, and art, giving us the first successful C-section, the x-rays for testing tuberculosis. Yes, everything is still tuberculosis, if you remember my sermon from civil rights movement. Part of it wouldn't happen without Pauli Murray, advancements in computer tech, brain science, synthesized music, and much, much more. What a time to be alive. And more folks are living their authentic lives. People who are transgender and gender nonconforming are coming out and living their authentic gender identities. More and more neurodivergent people are living more authentically into their sensory processing and mental health differences. More and more people are coming to the place that they do not care what other people are doing or expecting of them, but are now living their lives wholeheartedly. The most popular internet influencers right now are the ones who show up as themselves in their content. They don't necessarily share every detail of their lives, but they're their weird, imperfect, and silly selves, and that draws people in. It also bleeds into popular culture in a bigger way, where many of our popular TV shows and movies are about people really sharing and connecting with each other on a deep level in ways that wasn't true 10, 15, 20 years ago. I'm thinking of a TV series in particular. I don't know if you've seen it. It was kind of popular over the summer. The Four Seasons, did you see this with Tina Fey? Okay. Which is a remake of the movie with the same name from 1981, starring Alan Alda, Carol Burnett, and other well-known actors of the time. So I watched the entire series on my summer vacation, and then the streaming service I was watching suggested that I watch the movie afterwards, and I said, okay. I'm always interested to see how things are the same and different. And although they basically follow the same plot, the way that people talked about each other and to each other was so different. In the early 80s, the men were rude and dismissive to each other as well as their wives and each other's wives, and they talked around their big problems that were erupting right there in front of everyone between the couples and ignored the problems until they became too big and exploded. Of course, I would say it was groundbreaking filmmaking at the time in 1981, a peek into the private lives of these three different couples, but it didn't age particularly well. In the new series, the couples are more complex. Obviously, they had more time to explore the relationships with 8 hours instead of 2, but they're also more able to communicate with each other and manage the outrageous situations they get themselves into. The truth is, people are shifting. The culture is shifting, and making meaning is changing. And the meaning of being a good person is starting to shift. For generations, being a good person meant keeping your thoughts and feelings to yourself, hiding anything about yourself that deviated from the norm, and working hard to fit into what was expected of you, while judging harshly others who didn't do the same. Certainly, there are some now who would like to go back to a time like that what it meant to be a good person was to stay in your lane and let other people abuse their power. But more and more of us are aware that the way forward is to embrace the many variances from normal that are healthy and good, and to hold each other accountable for behavior that is harmful to others. As we know, there are many ways to be a good person, many of which we might not understand at first. Sometimes being true to yourself is the first step in making the world a better place. Like we saw with our story of the crayon and the candle. Living our authentic lives lets us shine a light into the world, helping to make it a little less confusing and scary for others. So remember, you were born infinitely whole. We all were. You are enough, you are complete, and you are loved. And I defy anyone who would say anything different. So let's sing that, right? Are you ready? Let's rise and body our spirit to sing our closing hymn, number 1053, How Could Anyone? We'll sing it through 2 times. As we get ready to close, I invite you to reach out to those around you. Hold hands if you are willing, elbow touches, however you want to be connected to those with us this morning. When you go, remember you are infinitely whole, and so is everyone else. When you go, go in peace.
Salam and shalom. Leave this place knowing that you are good and knowing that you are loved. Blessed be.
Take your dark and your light and your love from this place and share them with the world. And stay safe until we meet again. Amen.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy coffee hour and conversation. Have a great week.